Have you ever felt the energy drain from a goal the moment you told someone about it? You announce your 5 a.m. wake-up. You share the business blueprint. For a second, it feels real. But the fuel evaporates. Why? Because you traded the reward of the result for the cheap currency of approval. This is where paths diverge, between those who broadcast their intentions and those who silently accumulate power. Marcus Aurelius didn't argue about virtue, he embodied it. His command to us now would be simple: build, don't announce. Observe your own life. How much energy is spent explaining, defending, or performing your potential? While you're talking, someone is working in the dark. They aren't sharing the struggle. They aren't leaking their strategy. They are simply becoming. And one day they arrive, fully formed. That is the power of the quiet way. Silence isn't empty space, it's stored potential. Deep thought isn't indecision, it's sharpening your blade away from the crowd. Winning quietly isn't hiding, it's protecting your process from the parasites of opinion. The loudest voice often masks the deepest doubt. The quietest presence is observing, learning, waiting for the precise moment to move. History's most effective leaders weren't the most vocal, they were the most deliberate. Your next upgrade isn't more hustle, it's more restraint. Today, you'll learn 8 principles to master this, to control your speech, discipline your mind, and let your results be your only argument. This is active power, not passive retreat. If you're ready to transform noise into potency like this video, and subscribe to Stoic Mindset Mastery, write this commitment now. My power is silent. Let's begin. Principle 1. Silence is composed power. The world mistakes silence for absence. No quick retort, you must be weak. No defensive argument, you must be guilty. This is a shallow read of a deep strength. Stoicism reframes it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best answer to wrongdoing is to refuse to mirror it, not to overpower, but to transcend. Bring this into your day: a colleague's subtle jab, a family member's loaded remark, the online troll's bait. Your physiology screams to react. To fire back feels like strength. It's not. It's predictability, and predictable people are easily led. Silence in that heated moment is not surrender. It is supreme self-command. It is feeling the storm of emotion and choosing not to become the weather. If you cannot govern your speech, you cannot govern your life. When you withhold the expected reaction, you create psychological dissonance in your provocateur. They brace for conflict. You offer calm. They often unravel, revealing their own insecurity. Calmness becomes intimidating because it is unshakable. This is not suppression. Stoicism is about processing emotion, not denying it. Feel the sting. Observe the urge to retaliate. Then choose. That space between trigger and action, that is where your true power resides. In an age of instant reaction, the one who pauses commands the room. Silence also guards your future. How many bridges were burned by one sentence spoken in anger? Words are permanent. The Stoics treated speech as currency. Spend it only when necessary, and always with precision. When doubted, let your focus be your reply. When baited, let your discipline be your answer. They may call you cold. Let them. While they are reacting, you are building. Your silence was never weakness. It was strategic conservation of energy. Type below if you own this. My calm is my command. Principle 2. Strategy is born in the pause. Failure rarely comes from lack of ability. It comes from moving before thinking. You jump at the opportunity, react to the criticism, make the pressured decision. Regret follows. Marcus wrote of having power over the mind, not events. That power is the veto over impulse. Impulse is expensive. How many quick yeses became traps? The draining partnership, the argument you can't take back. Silence creates the field for strategy. When you don't rush to speak, you become a collector of data. You read body language, hear tone, spot inconsistencies. While others talk, you map the territory. Think of a master strategist. The silence before the move isn't blank. It's dense with calculation. They aren't just asking, "What do I do?" but "What chain of events does this set in motion 5 steps from now?" Apply this. You face public criticism. The instinct is to defend. Strategic silence asks, "Is this a battle that serves my war?" Does reacting give them weight they don't deserve? Often, non-reaction lets the other party collapse under the weight of their own aggression. Silence makes you a mystery, and mystery is a tactical advantage. When you talk too much, you reveal your hand, your fears, your triggers, your plans. When silent, you are unreadable. Practice this. Before any significant commitment, impose a 24-hour period of pure silence. No discussions, no seeking counsel. Just think, write, examine consequences. You'll find many urgent decisions are illusions. Move only after the silence has clarified everything. Principle 3, the deepest inquiry turns inward. Here's the uncomfortable pivot. Most people avoid failure by avoiding self-confrontation. It's easier to blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, anything but ask, "What is my role in this?" Marcus Aurelius began his days by preparing for the difficult people he'd meet, but he added a crucial line. Their nature is related to his own. The flaws you judge in others exist as potentials within you. That is deep thinking, not just analyzing the world, but auditing your place within it. Recall your last conflict. You replayed their faults. But did you ask, did my ego need to win? Was I listening or just waiting to speak? Did I escalate this? Those questions are painful, which is why most never ask them. The Stoics practiced nightly examination, a ruthless, unflinching review. Where did I surrender to emotion? Where did pride blind me? This isn't self-flagellation. It's the engineering of self-mastery. If you cannot be honest with yourself, you cannot improve with intention. Most people protect their ego with a narrative of victimhood, but if the same problems pursue you across different jobs, different relationships, you must eventually ask, am I the common denominator? The mirror of self-inquiry is the only one that shows you how to grow. Deep thinking means questioning your own lens. Are you interpreting feedback as attack because of past wounds? Is your pride mistaking a suggestion for an insult? When you blame externally, you remain powerless. When you interrogate yourself, you reclaim agency. You can't control others, but you can refine your responses, your standards, your effort. Even an emperor questioned himself, knowing ego is the enemy of wisdom. Your turn. Each night ask, where did I act with strength today? Where did my weaker self lead? What will I improve tomorrow? This builds the most powerful force, intentional self-awareness. Principle 4, plant seeds for the forest, not the flower. Most are trapped in the immediate. They choose what feels good now, what offers relief now, what wins the moment now. Then they wonder why their life feels shallow later. Marcus advised confining yourself to the present, not to be short-sighted, but to master the only point in time where you can actually build the future. Your present decision is the seed. Most only see the first sprout. The junk food tastes good now. The skipped workout feels easier now. The angry retort feels powerful now. Immediate reward. They don't see the second-order effects, the habit, the declining health, the solidified reputation as reactive. Deep thinkers operate differently. They step outside the moment and ask, where does this path lead in 1 year? 5. This question is a superpower. It means seeing your life as a strategic game where you are both player and architect. Every choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. One indulgence doesn't define you, but repeated choices sculpt your identity. Everything compounds. Small disciplines build an unshakable character. Small compromises build silent regret. Apply it. Someone disrespects you. Winning the moment might mean a cutting reply. Winning the year means maintaining a reputation for unflappable poise. Which victory matters more? Thinking beyond the moment also diffuses manipulation. Manipulators work in the urgent present, rushing you to decide. When you pause to ask, what happens after this? You see the strings. You see who benefits from your reactivity. Suddenly, you are no longer a pawn. Real strength is built slowly, quietly, through repeated deposits into your future self. Make your present choices with the forest in mind, not just the flower. Principle 5. The loudest victories rust the fastest. Everyone loves the spotlight, the viral moment, the public coronation. But here's the hidden tax. The louder the win, the bigger the target you paint on your back. Marcus warned of fearing never beginning to live. Truly living isn't performing success. It's building something real, even in the absence of applause. Many don't want success. They want its appearance, the celebration, the recognition. But loud wins come with invisible chains. Consider the lottery winner versus the decades-long wealth builder. One is besieged by expectations and predators. The other operates in peaceful, untouchable autonomy. Quiet victories last because they are rooted in substance, not spectacle. When you win loudly, you become a prisoner of that peak moment, pressured to repeat it. When you win quietly, you remain free to evolve, to fail privately, to iterate without an audience. There's a psychological trap. Announcing a goal gives your brain a premature reward. The dopamine from the praise can sap the hunger needed to actually finish the work. Quiet builders don't rob their own momentum. They let completion be the only announcement. Make it practical. Land a big client. Posting it alerts competitors and inflates expectations. Securing it silently protects your leverage and peace. Quiet success compounds faster because you're not pausing for applause. While others celebrate step 1, you're already on step 3. Let your progress be discovered, not declared. The most formidable success is the one nobody saw coming. Principle 6. The work is the statement. The instant you announce what you're building, you invite 3 thieves: doubt, distraction, and diluted ambition. Marcus was brutal in his instruction. No more talk about what a good man should be. Be one. The work itself is the only declaration that matters. What happens when you broadcast prematurely? First, you invite projected fear. People's realistic advice is often just their own limitations spoken to you. Those seeds of doubt can sprout in your own moments of struggle. Second, you create false accountability to others' timelines and definitions, bending your vision to make it explainable. Third, and most dangerous, your brain gets its reward early. Saying, "I'm writing a book," and receiving encouragement can feel like progress. It isn't. The hunger to prove it diminishes. Real creators understand this. They don't talk about the gym. They lift. They don't call themselves writers. They write. Execution is the identity. Announcing also attracts parasites, copycats, critics, and energy vampires. Moving silently makes you a ghost, untraceable, untouchable. There's a purer truth. When no one is watching, you are forced to love the work for its own sake. If you need applause to continue, it was never a true mission. It was a performance for ego. Silence acts as a filter for authenticity. Let them wonder what you're doing. Let the empty space confuse them. And when you finally reveal, let it be a finished monument, not a blueprint up for debate. Type your pact. I build in the dark. Principle 7. The gift of being underestimated. Most people fear being undervalued. They scramble to prove their intelligence, their worth, their potential. But being underestimated is a monumental strategic gift. When people think you're not a threat, they drop their guard. They don't prepare for you. They reveal their true selves. Marcus noted that the aim is not to stand with the majority, but to avoid the madness of the crowd. In being overlooked, you find freedom. Think of every great upset in history. It happened because someone was dismissed. The opponent didn't train for them. The market didn't see them coming. That underestimation created the opening for a decisive victory. Don't correct their misjudgment, use it. While they're underestimating, you observe them. Learn their weaknesses, their patterns. When they think you're not paying attention, you're gathering the intelligence that will let you win. This also removes the pressure of expectation. You can experiment, fail, learn, and grow without the burden of a watching crowd. This freedom accelerates mastery. In a negotiation, if they've underestimated you, let them. Ask simple, probing questions. Listen far more than you speak. Let them believe they're in control. Then, at the decisive moment, reveal the depth of your understanding and preparation. The shift in power is absolute. Being underestimated also filters out shallow people. Those who judge on surface appearances aren't your necessary allies. Your worth isn't diminished by their inability to see it. Let their underestimation be their problem, not yours. The less you need to prove, the more you ultimately do. Principle 8. Victory needs no witness. The ultimate test of character is this: can you do the right thing when no one will ever know? Can you win a private battle that earns no trophy? The greatest minds dedicated their lives to this question. Marcus reminded himself that life could end at any moment. Let that dictate your actions. Most are addicted to validation. They need a witness to certify their effort. But if you require applause to persist, your driver is ego, not purpose. Ego-driven achievements crumble when the crowd goes home. Ask yourself brutally, if no one ever praised me for this, would I still do it? The answer reveals your core motivation. The most revered leaders didn't demand constant monuments. Their satisfaction came from duty fulfilled, not praise received. Winning without applause means your internal standards are higher than any external metric. You're not trying to impress people. You're becoming someone you can respect. This shift liberates you. You become immune to manipulation by praise or criticism. You choose the harder, right path because it's right, not because it's celebrated. Integrity is what you build when you believe nobody is watching. Consider working late on a project no one will see. Do you cut corners or pursue excellence? That choice defines you. These private victories, the disciplined choice when cheating would be easy, the honest word when a lie would go unnoticed, forge true integrity. Anyone can perform virtue on a stage. Living it in the shadows is rare. Applause is fickle. Today's hero is tomorrow's target. If you're dependent on it, you'll be destroyed by its absence. But if you are indifferent to it, you become unshakable. There is a profound, quiet pride in a private victory that no public accolade can match. It is pure, it is yours alone. So build for the sake of the build. Let excellence be its own reward. Let them applaud or not. You are playing a different game. These 8 principles are not passive. They are the active disciplines of the potent. In a world addicted to noise, your silent focus becomes a weapon. In a culture that rewards performance, your substantive results become your legend. Silence is not a void. It is the container for your becoming. Thought is not a delay. It is the architect of your action. Quiet winning is not secrecy. It is the protection of your sovereign process. So master your speech, discipline your mind. Let your work speak in a language louder than words. Let others chase the spotlight while you build in the power of the shade. Your time of quiet accumulation is your greatest advantage. If this path calls to you, solidify it. Hit that like button. It fuels this mission. Share this with someone who builds more than they post. Subscribe to Stoic Mindset Mastery. Your journey from noise to potency starts now. Post your declaration below. I am the quiet storm.